Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm Thibaut, your host, and today we're going to talk about the history of Sea-Doo from the beginning to where we are now in history. So, the story of Sea-Doo starts in 1986 when Bombardier launched its first mass production PVC, personal watercraft, under the name Sea-Doo. This was inspired by Sea-Doo, the snowmobile line that was developed by Clayton Jacobson II and supported by the Bombardier CEO Laurent Beaudoin. This was a jet-powered aqua scooter. The first model that they brought out was air-cooled Rotax engine with 320cc and a top speed of around 40 kilometers an hour or 25 miles an hour. In 1996 they had the first problems with the PWC. This was a heating issue. The engine overheated and they attacked this issue with a water-cooled version with 372cc. So in the 1970s, because of a lot of technical issues and the focus not really being on the PWCs but more on the snowmobile market, Bombardier stopped production of the Sea-Doo PWC. So Jacobson got back his rights to the invention, and later on he started development on the jet ski at Kawasaki, the other well-known brand that we might cover in a later video. In 1988 they relaunched Sea-Doo, this time with the renewed model, the 5801. This PWC had a Rotax engine with 580cc and a revolutionary semi-V-shape design with lifting strips to have a smoother planing experience on the water. The V-hull design inspired the new logo, the renewed logo. So in 1990 they introduced the Sea-Doo GTs, the world's first PWCs where you could sit on with 3 persons. This new PWC had a reverse functionality and even had enough power to pull someone who's water skiing behind the jet ski. In the 1990s they had a lot of innovations. Like in 1991 they launched the XP, the first high performance model with double carburetors and tuning and very special graphics on the sides. So in 1959 they had the debut of the HX models with a new revolutionary suspension seat where you could that allowed the driver to be lower on the water and be more agile. They also introduced the XP 758, later the XP80 with an X4 hull and an RAVE motor. This motor holds the record for the most race wins. And then in 1978 the Sea-Doo XP with the hyperbolic hull and suspension seats were called out for being the watercraft of the century by Watercraft World magazine. So in the period between 1989 and 2004, we had a lot of eco-friendly and technological breakthroughs at Sea-Doo. So, for example, in 1989, they came with the GTX RFI. With this new watercraft, they introduced a semi-direct fuel injection and the DC bell noise reduction. This together made sure the emissions dropped by 15%. So in 2000, the Millennium Edition came out with a direct injection technology and a learning key. This allowed for max speed and max acceleration to be used for people who just started learning to ride a jet ski. In 2002, they came out with the GTX Fortec models. These models had a Fortec engine and off-power assistant steering. This made for a much better handling experience on the water. Then in 2004, the RXP 2015 was the first watercraft with more than 200 pk. This was an extraordinary achievement for the musclecraft models. Then, if we go a bit further down the line to 2009, they started adding smart technology things to these PWCs. So in 2009, they launched the iControl with IBR technology. The IBR is for the braking and reverse. Then the ITC, electronic throttle control, and IS, the self-adjusting suspension. So in 2012, they came out with the RXP X260 with a T3 hull. This hull had a T shape which allowed for sharper corners. There also was an ergolock system. This consisted of a narrow seat and some support for your knees. These proved to be very useful and dominant in the competitions because these machines had unbeaten records. So if we move further to the year 2014, we see a change in the marketing strategy of the brand. So they introduced the Sea-Doo Spark. This was launched as a clean, affordable and fun and easy PWC with a light Polytech construction. The stimulants for PWCs grew with 60% after the launch of the Sea-Doo Spark. So in 2016, Sea-Doo came out with the Rotax 1630 Ace motor. This was an engine capable of making 300 horsepower that allowed the jet skis to go from 0 to 60 miles an hour in less than 5 seconds. Then in 2018, they had the 50 years jubileum. Then they added a couple of new models like the GTX, the RTXT, the Wake Pro with the ST 3 hull. They upgraded the design and added Bluetooth speakers and some smart storage and accessories. So after that, there were not a lot of big things that have been announced yet, but they launched the Sea-Doo Switch in 2021. This is a pontoon-like boat hybrid. This allowed to accommodate more than the standard 3 people on the jet skis. So now you could enjoy the water with a couple of friends, like with 8 people, I think it is. You can go on there, and you can also still wake and water ski behind these. And they're really nice because there is a lot of customization that you can do on this platform. Then the last thing on our list from new things is in 2024 they renewed the Spark models to make an enhanced ergonomic design, and Trix Modius just to have a little bit of the more capabilities when you are doing some tricks or you're freestyling with the jet skis. So this was a little bit of the history on Sea-Doos. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time. Thank you.